when we meet. Let's take the good news and shout it in the street. Let's break the good news, though it seems too good to be true, that you'll soon marry me and I'll soon marry you. And we're gonna take a honeymoon cruise. Let's break the good news.
Hello. Okay, so they've got me locked up again. Well, que sera, sera. While I was locked up, they cleared my room out where I was staying. They cleared the locker out and brought all my kit down. And they happened to find the cash of coffee. And also all the coupons that I've accumulated for buying the cigarettes. So that was another problem. They asked me where I got the coffee from. I said I broke in the cookhouse for it. And they said, no, we haven't had no report of a break-in. So that was that. They gave me all the kit and they said I want a kit layout. I had to do a kit layout on the bed. And I said, okay. They locked me up in this single cell. There's other cells there. There's a big accumulated cell, like which takes 7 people. But they put me in a single cell. So they locked the door, shut the door, cell door up. And going through the kit, I found a razor blade. And I said, I'll give them a kit layout. And I cut all the brasses, buttons, off all the equipment. I cut it all up so it was just a load of cloth. The trousers, I took all the buttons off, everything. And I lined them up all on the floor and started playing soldiers with them, like 2 lots, 1 lot one side, 1 lot the other side. And the brasses, all the big metal brasses, were the tanks. And I was playing, like acting silly, playing soldiers with them. So anyway, they came in, they unlocked the door for the kit layout, and they see the big pile of rubbish, like, which I'd cut it all off of. They went crazy, but I didn't care. They said, that's going to cost you a lot of money. I said, so what? I ain't going to be able to spend nothing, am I? And I expected a lot of time for striking the staff sergeant, like. Anyway, they sent me to the camp commander for orders. They put me on orders the next day, and he informed me that it's too serious for him, and he was going to give me a court-martial. I was going to have a court-martial with a visiting board of officers. So that was okay. So we settled down. After a little while, they took me out of the big cell and put me in. They took me out of the little cell and put me in a big cell where there was a couple of other blokes, so it was better. Anyway, another couple of days went by, and the cook was put in the guard room because they found out somehow, not through me, but they found out somehow that the cook was selling the coffee. And he didn't have long to do. He only had about 3 months to do before he was going to get demobbed. Anyway, they put him in the cookhouse. They put him in the guard room with me. And then another bloke came in who I knew, another mate of mine, who was a corporal of the regimental police. There's different police forces. There's a regimental police and a military police. The military police are outside of the camp and go around the town and everything, but the regimental police look after the guard room during the daytime when the ordinary guard ain't on duty. There's only a guard duty at night time, and the regimental police look after the guard room and the secure of the camp and everything. Anyway, this corporal was put in there. Corporal was put in there. They've opened these. Somebody's reported that there's been a lot of break-ins. I think it either a shop or offices or something, and they were looking for. They knew it was a soldier, and they were looking for equipment. They knew it was a foreigner. So they've searched the camp, and they've opened this corporal's locker, and found all the electrical equipment. He was a bigger thief than anybody else in the camp. So they put him in there as well with us. Anyway, that was that. He's locked up, the cook's locked up, and after a little while we decided that, you know, we ain't going to be here any longer. So we actually smuggled an axe from the guard room into our cell, and that evening we chopped the bars out the wall of the toilet, because there was a little toilet area in the community cell. There was a toilet area, so we cut the bars out the wall, and we're going to fuck off. So we go up to the vehicle park and open one of the doors where the cars are, and there's a Volkswagen, a 1950 something. Well, it's a 1950 something. So I hot wired it under the dash. There weren't no key to start it. Didn't start it with a key. You had a button to start it. So I hot wired it, and we drove out the camp. And it was the officer commanding's Volkswagen, and his hat was in the back. So one of the blokes put the hat on. I don't remember who put the hat on, the officer's hat on. One was driving like the ordinary driver, and I hid in the back. I ducked down as we went through. So it was only like the driver and the officer leaving the camp. Anyway, they opened the barrier up, saluted us, and off we went. And we went all the way through Germany to Holland, to the border called Utrecht. And we was crossing the border. It was a little quiet border with just a barrier across the road with a padlock. So we smashed the padlock up, put the barrier up, and off we went, drove into Germany, into Holland from Germany. Anyway, that's that. We was on our way to the Hook of Holland. So I'll tell you a bit more later about what happened in the Hook of Holland.
Let's break the good news to everyone we meet. Let's take the good news and shout it in the street. Let's break the good news, though it seems too good to be true, that you'll soon marry me and I'll soon marry you, and we're gonna